Most people do not want peace. They want protection. They want a world that obeys them, people who never disappoint them, outcomes that never betray them, and days that never turn dark. But that world does not exist. And the brutal lesson Marcus Aurelius understood is this: if your peace depends on what others do, then your life belongs to others. You think your problem is the insult, the rejection, the betrayal, the delay, the disrespect. It is not. Your real problem is that every small event has the power to enter your mind, sit on your throne, and command your emotions like a master. One message ruins your night. One person's opinion poisons your confidence. One failure makes you question your worth. And slowly, without even realizing it, you become a prisoner of things that were never supposed to control you. Marcus Aurelius was not speaking from the comfort of an easy life. He was surrounded by war, disease, political deception, pressure, grief, and the unbearable weight of responsibility. He did not write for applause. He wrote because he was trying to survive his own mind. He understood something most people still do not understand now. The greatest battle is not against chaos outside you, but against weakness inside you. Not weakness of body, but weakness of judgment, weakness of discipline, weakness of emotional dependence, weakness that makes you react to every noise like it matters, weakness that makes you bleed from invisible cuts. And that is why these principles matter, not because they make you cold, not because they turn you into stone, but because they teach you how to remain untouched by the madness of people, the cruelty of timing, and the instability of life. Not untouched in the sense of feeling nothing, but untouched in the deeper sense. Not owned, not shaken, not ruled. The first principle is the most uncomfortable one because it destroys your favorite excuse. Nothing affects you until your mind agrees to be affected. Read that again, because this is where everything begins. An event happens, someone ignores you, someone lies, someone leaves, someone wins what you wanted, someone underestimates you. The event arrives, but suffering is not automatic. There is a moment, often so fast you do not notice it, when your mind interprets what happened. It says, "This is terrible. This is personal. This means I am not enough. This should not be happening." And from that interpretation, pain begins to multiply. People say, "Of course I am upset. Look what happened." But Marcus would ask a harder question. What did your mind add to what happened? Because life wounds you once, but imagination wounds you 100 times. The insult happens once, then you replay it. The betrayal happens once, then you build a theater around it. You imagine revenge, explanations, alternate endings, speeches you should have given, signs you should have seen. The mind becomes its own torturer. And then you say life is cruel, when in truth, half the cruelty came from your own untrained thoughts. This is not about denying reality. It is about refusing to become the servant of your first reaction. A powerful person does not believe every thought that enters the mind. A powerful person examines it. They ask, is this fact or drama? Is this pain or interpretation? Is this event destroying me? Or is my ego screaming because it did not get what it wanted? The day you learn to separate what happened from what you are telling yourself about what happened, your chains begin to crack. The second principle is that you must stop needing the crowd. Most people are emotionally homeless. They look for shelter and approval. They want to be praised, noticed, validated, included, admired. They want people to understand them, choose them, clap for them, agree with them. And because of that hunger, they become easy to control. The crowd does not need to put chains on you if it can put hooks in your ego. Marcus understood the instability of public opinion. One day they praise you. The next day, they laugh. One day you are useful, the next day you are forgotten. If you build your inner world on the mouths of other people, then you build on sand. The crowd has no loyalty. It has moods. It has trends. It has appetites. It loves noise, not depth. It rewards performance, not always truth. And the one who becomes addicted to being seen eventually loses the ability to see clearly. This is why silence becomes a form of power. Not weak silence, not fearful silence, chosen silence. The kind of silence that no longer rushes to explain, defend, prove, or impress. There is something terrifying to manipulative people about a person who does not need to be understood immediately. Someone insults you, and you do not collapse. Someone doubts you, and you do not chase them. Someone overlooks you, and you keep building. That kind of stillness unsettles people because it reveals a strength they cannot control. The third principle is one of the darkest and most liberating. Expect human weakness. Not to become cynical, but to stop being shocked. So much suffering comes from this childish fantasy that people should always be fair, loyal, honest, rational, and kind. But people are often insecure, jealous, impulsive, selfish, blind, wounded, and contradictory. They promise what they cannot sustain. They love according to their level of maturity. They judge from their own confusion. They betray what they once praised. If you expect perfection from imperfect beings, you will spend your life offended. Marcus taught himself to wake up expecting to meet difficult people, not because he hated them, but because reality becomes easier to carry when you stop arguing with it. Think about how much pain comes from surprise, not just betrayal itself, but the disbelief. I cannot believe they did this. I cannot believe they changed. I cannot believe they were smiling in my face while thinking that behind my back. But why not believe it? Humans are capable of both beauty and ugliness. Wisdom is not being naive about one and blind to the other. This principle changes everything. You stop taking every ugly act as a cosmic injustice aimed specifically at you. Sometimes people lie because they fear truth. Sometimes they attack because your discipline exposes their laziness. Sometimes they withdraw because your presence awakens what they have refused to become. Sometimes their disrespect is not a verdict on your value, but a confession of their character. The more you understand human weakness, the less personally you carry human behavior. The fourth principle is that your job is your peace, not your outcome, not your reward, not your recognition, your job. This is where many people lose themselves. They attach their emotional stability to results they do not fully control. They work, but they worship the result. They love, but they worship the response. They try, but they worship the victory. And the moment life does not return what they expected, they collapse. Marcus did not think like that. He understood that control is narrow, and because it is narrow, it is sacred. Your effort is yours. Your intention is yours. Your discipline is yours. Your honesty is yours. Your restraint is yours. But the final outcome? That belongs to a larger order. The more you try to dominate what is not yours, the more anxious you become. The more you obsess over results, the weaker you become. Because now your peace is always waiting on something outside you to approve your existence. Do the work, speak the truth, train your character, love well, build well, lead well. But let go of the fantasy that the world owes you a matching reward on your preferred timeline. This is not pessimism, it is freedom. Because when your peace comes from doing what is right rather than getting what you wanted, you become almost impossible to break. Failure still stings, yes, loss still hurts, yes, but it does not destroy your center. You are no longer saying, I am only worthy if I win. You are saying, I was worthy in the way I fought. The fifth principle is to train with discomfort before life forces it on you. Most people want strength without friction. They want confidence without embarrassment, discipline without boredom, patience without delay, courage without fear. But the soul does not harden in comfort. It hardens in resistance. Marcus knew that luxury weakens the mind when it becomes a dependency. The more things you think you need in order to be okay, the more fragile you become. Look at modern life. People panic when they are bored, when they are ignored, when they are uncomfortable, when they are not entertained, when they are not chosen, when they are not instantly rewarded. That is not just sensitivity. That is dependency. And dependency creates fear. You fear losing what you have not trained yourself to live without. You fear silence because you have not learned to sit with your own thoughts. You fear rejection because you built your identity on acceptance. You fear being alone because you have never become your own ally. This is why voluntary discomfort is powerful. Wake up when you do not feel like it. Finish what you started when no one is watching. Sit with the urge to react and do not obey it. Go without what you crave just to remember you can. Let inconvenience train you instead of insulting you. Every time you refuse to be ruled by appetite, impulse, or comfort, you send your mind a message, I am still in command. And that message changes you. Slowly, quietly, permanently. The sixth principle is that emotional control is not suppression. It is mastery. This is where people misunderstand Stoicism the most. They imagine a dead face, a numb heart, a robotic existence, but that is not strength. That is disconnection. Marcus was not trying to feel less human. He was trying to become less enslaved. There is a difference. A person who feels nothing is not strong. A person who feels deeply and still chooses wisely, that is strong. Anyone can explode. Anyone can send the message they will regret. Anyone can let anger drive. Anyone can turn pain into revenge, envy into gossip, insecurity into arrogance, heartbreak into self-destruction. That is easy. What is rare is the person who can feel fire and still not burn the house down. The person who can be wounded and still remain just. The person who can be insulted and still remain measured. The person who can be provoked and still remain sovereign. When you master yourself, you begin to notice something uncomfortable. People often try to recruit you into their chaos. They want your reaction, because reaction is a form of participation. If they can make you snap, they can lower you. If they can make you obsess, they can occupy you. If they can make you prove yourself, they can lead you. This is why control of the self is one of the highest forms of power. Not because it looks impressive, but because it protects your energy from thieves. The seventh principle is to stop turning pain into identity. One of the hidden traps of suffering is that it can become a personality. A betrayal happens, and now you become the betrayed one. A failure happens, and now you become the failure. You are humiliated, rejected, underestimated, abandoned, and slowly your wounds begin introducing themselves before you do. You no longer simply experience pain. You become loyal to it. You carry it everywhere. You feed it with stories. You polish it with memory. You make it your evidence for why you cannot trust, cannot risk, cannot grow, cannot love, cannot move. Marcus would call this another form of surrender, because now the event is over, but it still controls your behavior. The person who hurt you is gone, but they still live in your reflexes. The moment that broke you has become the lens through which you see everyone. That is not healing. That is extended captivity. Your pain is real, but it is not your throne. Learn from it, yes. Respect it, yes. But do not worship it. There comes a point where the wound is no longer asking to be felt. It is asking to be transformed. And transformation requires honesty. Are you protecting yourself or hiding inside your scar? Are you remembering or rehearsing? Are you healing or building a shrine to what happened? These are brutal questions, but freedom begins where self-deception ends. The eighth principle is one Marcus returned to again and again. Remember how short all of this is. Death is not just an ending in Stoicism. It is a weapon against illusion. Why do small insults feel enormous? Why does jealousy consume so many people? Why do we waste years competing for attention, replaying old conversations, resenting the success of others, trying to punish people in our imagination? Because we forget how brief this whole drama is. We live like we have endless tomorrows to waste on nonsense. But one day, the face in your mirror will change. The names you obsess over will disappear. The people judging you will vanish. The trends, the applause, the envy, the rivalry, the embarrassment, the social theater of the moment, all of it will be swallowed by time. And suddenly the mind becomes clearer. Is this worth my peace? Is this worth my character? Is this worth handing over another week of my life? Many things look powerful until you place them beside mortality. Then they shrink to their real size. This is not a morbid truth. It is a cleansing truth. It burns away pettiness. It makes you less desperate to be admired and more committed to being real. It makes you less interested in winning useless battles and more interested in becoming someone solid before your time runs out. The one who remembers death stops behaving like a beggar in front of temporary things. The ninth principle is that the real enemy is not misfortune. It is self-betrayal. Life can hit you hard and still fail to defeat you. People can walk away and still fail to destroy you. You can lose money, status, comfort, relationships, and still remain whole in the deepest sense. But if you abandon your own standards, if you betray your conscience, if you let bitterness corrupt your nature, then you have suffered the worst loss of all, because now the damage is not outside you, it is inside. This is what makes Stoicism so severe and so powerful. Marcus is not mainly asking, what happened to you? He is asking, what are you becoming because of what happened to you? Are you becoming smaller, meaner, weaker, more reactive, more vain, more addicted to praise, more hungry for revenge? Or are you becoming clearer, calmer, more disciplined, more honest, more dangerous in the right way? Suffering always offers a deal. It says, I will hurt you, and in exchange, you can become ugly. Many people accept without noticing. They call it self-protection. They call it realism. But really, they just let pain redesign their character. Never let what hurts you turn you into something beneath yourself. That is a principle worth bleeding for. Because the world is full of people who were once soft-hearted and became cruel, once hopeful and became cynical, once sincere and became manipulative. They did not just experience darkness, they joined it. Marcus warns you against that quiet corruption. Hold your line, even in anger, even in grief, even in disappointment, especially then. The 10th principle is the deepest one, and maybe the hardest. Build an inner throne no one can sit on. This is the final lesson behind all the others. The reason people can affect you so easily is not simply because they are powerful. It is because your center is still unguarded. Too many people have a public face, a private wound, and no inner ruler. Their emotions are a democracy of impulses. Fear votes, desire votes, ego votes, jealousy votes, loneliness votes. The last person they spoke to votes. The worst thing that happened last week votes. And then they wonder why their life feels chaotic. Marcus was trying to create a king within. Not a king over others, but a king over the self, a governing presence, a steady judge, a mind that does not panic every time reality refuses to cooperate, a soul that does not sell itself for attention, a character that does not collapse under pressure. That is what these principles are really for. They are not tricks for looking composed. They are bricks for building inner authority. And here is the twist most people miss. The goal is not to become unreachable. It is to become ungovernable by what is low, shallow, and temporary. You can still love deeply. You can still care. You can still grieve, hope, strive, and feel. But now your heart is no longer an open gate for every passing force. You choose what enters. You choose what stays. You choose what deserves your energy. That is not coldness. That is self-respect. So if you want a life where nothing can affect you, be careful what you mean. If you mean a life where you never feel pain, that life does not exist. If you mean a life where betrayal does not sting, where loss does not ache, where disappointment does not visit, then you are asking to stop being human. But if you mean a life where pain does not own you, where insults do not define you, where outcomes do not control your worth, where other people's chaos does not become your identity, then yes, that life is possible. It begins when you stop asking the world to be softer and decide to become stronger. It begins when you stop worshiping comfort, stop chasing validation, stop negotiating with impulse, stop expecting the crowd to save you, stop acting surprised by human weakness, stop reliving what cannot be changed, stop calling emotional slavery passion, stop making pain your name. Marcus Aurelius knew a secret that still terrifies the weak. A person who rules themselves becomes very difficult to wound. Not because life stops striking them, but because life can no longer dictate what they become. That is the hidden power. That is the brutal freedom. The world can shake your circumstances, but it cannot shake your throne unless you invite it in. So the next time someone disrespects you, disappoints you, leaves you, ignores you, or tries to provoke the old version of you, remember this: your first feeling is not your final command. Their behavior is not your identity. This moment is not your master. Stand still. Watch your mind. Refuse the lie that every wound deserves a reaction. Refuse the weakness of becoming what hurt you. Refuse to hand over your inner kingdom for the price of one temporary emotion. In the end, the strongest person is not the loudest, the coldest, or the most feared. It is the one who can walk through betrayal without becoming bitter, through praise without becoming vain, through suffering without becoming broken, and through power without becoming corrupt. The one who stays steady while the world keeps performing its old tricks. The one who has learned that peace is not found in control of events, but in command of the self. And once you learn that, something changes forever. People can talk. Let them. People can doubt. Let them. Fortune can rise and fall. Let it. Time can take what it takes. Let it. Because there is one thing this world cannot touch unless you betray it yourself. And that is the part of you that has finally learned how to stand alone, govern itself, and remain unshaken.